Singh and Carla Lee for subscribing to my channel. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for your chance to be included in shoutouts for future videos. Good morning everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be making some more double oat bars, and I'm going to be doing a different colour than what I have done in the past. Main reason is because I actually ran out of gold Brazilian clay, so I had to use what I had, and then I mixed it with yellow French clay. And the reason why I did that, because the supplier is currently out of stock, and this is the first time using grey Brazilian clay, so I'm really keen to see how it's going to turn out, especially with olive oil, because it is quite dark. And these bars are scented with Jasmine, organic Jasmine fragrance oil with a cedar wood fix, so that's just the standard Jasmine. And I'll do like a double colour swirl, and I'll be decorating the top with chamomile flowers. And I just feel like chamomile and jasmine just go really nice together, like they just complement each other very well. And the buds are actually quite fragrant, so I find the jasmine fragrance and the chamomile just really go together really nicely, and it's just a nice calming aroma overall. And since I just mentioned, the colour of the olive oil, I'd like to point out actually, I recently changed supplier for my olive oil, and it's still a great, excellent quality olive oil. It's just I wasn't sure why it was tracing so fast. And I'm just thinking, I'm there scratching my head, I wonder why it's tracing so fast. And you probably noticed the last couple of videos I did, it was kind of tracing fast, and I'm thinking to myself, why am I've made these recipes so many times that they've never traced fast on me, unless I'm working with a fast tracing oil, but it just seemed every batch I was doing is tracing really fast. So it turns out that the new olive oil I've been getting is virgin olive oil instead of extra virgin. So they are essentially fairly similar in terms of aroma and colour. They're still quite dark in colour. It still has a really rich fruity aroma when it's virgin olive oil. They're fairly similar to extra virgin, but the difference is extra virgin is usually the first press of the olives. So the oil that they get, generally between 60 and 80% is of the olive oil that comes out of the first press is extra virgin. And the second and third press of the same olives is virgin. So the acid profile of extra virgin is 0.5% acidity. So it's got a lower acid point and saturated fat as well. So that's why it takes longer to come to trace. You can stand there, blending for 10-15 minutes with really high olive content, especially if it's 100%. And even cocoa olive, generally a few minutes of blending is plenty. But I found, like, after a minute, and even if I just pulse it and bring it to emulsion, I was finding it's thickening up even before I'm adding the clay and whatever, fragrance I'm adding to it. And it turns out that virgin olive oil has got a free acid profile of 1.5%. And on average, it actually has a lot more stearic and palmitic acid. So I found that very interesting that that extra acid in the oil resulted in it's tracing really fast. And I have actually noticed, in my benefit and of course in my customers' benefit too, that since switching to this olive oil a couple of months ago, I found that my bars were just a little bit harder overall, and I'm thinking, I wonder what I'm doing. Like, I'm not really doing anything different. And my recipe has been the same for quite a while now, and it turned out that it's because of the virgin olive oil. And I didn't really think about it when I bought it. I was thinking, it's still great quality, it's still cold pressed, it's Australian olive oil, and I love Australian olive oil, as you know. And that's actually the two differences between them. So one, extra virgin, has virtually no palmitic and stearic acid, and virgin olive oil has more acid profiles in it, so they have more palmitic and stearic acid, whereas extra virgin would mostly have 0%. Sometimes it might have, depending on where the olive oil is sourced from, because wherever it's sourced from, the acid profile might be just slightly different. But from my researching, virgin olive oil between 0 to 5%, or actually between 2 and 5% is stearic acid, and between 1 and 2.5% is palmitic acid. So that's what gives the bar actually a really nice hard finish after it's curing. And I was just thinking, even though my bars are hard anyway, but I just found it comparing between bars before and bars now, that it just turned out really, really nice. Like, it's just really, really nice. So I'm really happy, actually. It was a happy mistake that I discovered. So even though I might not be able to do intricate designs and stuff, because it does trace a little fast, like, I have been doing in previous videos where I really make things, when I do in the pot swirl. So it's generally, with this type of olive oil, it's not something you can do in the pot, because by the time you combine multiple colors, it starts to thicken up. So that's why the slab has actually saved me in a way, because you can still work with thick batter when you're working with a slab, because it's easy to actually get it in the slab. And you're not working with, those smaller loaves where it's got a small opening. The slab has a large opening. It's quite easy to work with a thick batter. And as you see me with my spatula, if I'm pouring thick batters, 2 or 3 colors, I just use my spatula and I do swirls inside the mold, and they turn out really, really nice. If you've watched my milky shea bars, particularly the honeysuckle orange, that thickened really quick on me. Honeysuckle does slightly accelerate trace, but it just traced really fast, and it wasn't because of the honeysuckle, as I originally thought. It's actually because of the virgin olive oil. So yeah, that's something to keep an eye out. Like, if you want to keep the beautiful olive oil properties in your soap, but you want to increase hardness, definitely give virgin olive oil a try if you can. Pumice olive oil generally is chemical extracted and very highly refined, so pumice and virgin olive oil are not the same. Pumice olive oil is usually hexane extracted, and they filter it out so there's no smell, and the color might be very light. Sometimes the color might be dark, but there's no smell, and very low acid profile. So I know the free acidity in pumice olive oil and also refined olive oil is below 0.5. Extra virgin olive oil is at 0.5, and virgin olive oil is at 1.5. So what free acidity means is that it's a range of what acids are in the actual oil itself, and of course, depending on where it's grown and overall the process of how it was grown, that can affect how much or what type of acids dominate the oil. So anyway, I will stop yakking. This is my oat milk, and if you want to see how I make my oat milk, I do have a video on it, and I will provide that in the full tutorial in the description below. There's obviously sugar and salt in my oat milk, and then I freeze it, and then I add the lye to the ice cubes. Once it's below 50 degrees, I add the sodium lactate. So that's in here, and here it's just 70% virgin olive oil, not extra virgin, and 30% organic virgin coconut oil. So I thought I'll just cover those. Those are the 2 colors today, so they'll be a little different from what I have done in the past, but that's totally fine. Okay, so I've got my safety goggles on and my gloves, and I'm ready to go.